Hello, peoples, one and all, and welcome back to We Classy Morons and Roleplay Radio. Once again, I am joined by Mr. Duck. Quack for us. Quack! And we have Rocker over here on the side. Say hello.
Hey!
We are back once again, and this time we pick up right where we left off with our wonderful crew of Weird Al Yankovic fused into Pancake Girl and Syrup Man stuck to their... Yeah, we were flying off into the sunset, basically. But now it's a sunrise, because in an epic jump cut, we made our way back to the castle that the doctor is in. You know, this being our home base for most of our operations. So we managed to land through this wonderful... Well, it doesn't really matter whether we land through the middle of the town or at the very castle itself. So we land right back in the middle of the town living room, I guess we could call it now. So the doctor instantly walks downstairs as if he were expecting the entire time, not because it was scripted or totally planned at all. I've been waiting for you for quite a while now.
So Doc, let me ask you this question. Why did you make a clone of yourself, and why did it try to kill us, and why does it have cooler shit than I do?
Well, that's not just one question. That's a lot of questions, but we're going to gloss over that in the interest of time. Right now, all you need to know is I've tried to do many experiments in the past, one of which was transferring my knowledge into an individual, or rather a robot, to preserve my intelligence even after I'd passed on. So that was one of my failed attempts. I'm not going to say if I succeeded or not. His eyes roll around in his head as if he's avoiding an imaginary question. But, you know, everything in the name of science. So if you wander across any more of my inventions out there, feel free to give me a call on the fourth wall phone. And he hands you a phone out of thin air. Okay.
So I already have one, but, you know, my Fapple phone was getting kind of worn out. So anyway.
Did you not fap enough for it?
No, my jack-off skills are rather not that good because I'm not gay.
Okay. Well, I have one of those brand newfangled fap droids everyone's been talking about, so I'm not entirely sure what the minute plan is. Is yours better than mine? Anyway, you know, it doesn't matter whose plan is bigger. It's how you use it that counts. So,
It's just going to turn into an argument between you two.
Whose phone plan is bigger? Whose Fapple phone plan is bigger, Duck? Anyway.
Mine wasn't going to phone plans being bigger, it was going to your junk being bigger.
Okay,
yeah.
So Doc,
yes.
Since that happened, basically, you know, I feel that we all are kind of, you know, not prepared enough, and you know, Weird Al Yankovic Pancake is kind of useless, and Pancake Man doesn't, and Syrup Man doesn't give a shit. So would it be?
What makes me awesome.
Halibanawa. Would you be open to giving us a big upgrade, a nice juicy upgrade? So I'm not doing all the fucking fighting.
Oh, absolutely. This was actually something that I'd been working on for quite a while, which was something to invigorate Pancake Girl, with Weird Al Pancake, I guess. And how did that happen, by the way? I don't even want to know. I don't want to know how a male and female...
It had to do with your clone.
Okay. Well, it was my
that
mechanical...
isn't helping. It still sounds sexual.
You're a mom!
You too.
Yeah, later, not while we're recording.
Ew.
Anyway.
Ew.
So, I've been working on something. Will everyone outside of the fourth wall please be quiet for a minute while I explain this?
No.
Oh, damn it. Anyway, as I was saying, I've been developing ways to get Pancake Girl and Syrup Man more involved in the process of you going on this adventure. So I've developed two things that I think are going to be very unique. One of which is the Fire Naser. And I know that sounds like it's a total knockoff of something else out there, but, you know, you could just roll with the punches. A fire laser is the best I can describe it. Is any sticky substance it can actually catch on fire. Now I know that you may think of a bunch of terrible things that could be relating to, but no, that's actually not the case. I developed this especially for Syrup Man. Because one of the reasons that he's so low energy is not only is it uncomfortable to move around when covered in syrup, I can show you later if you want.
You know, knowing Fred, he'd probably like it a bit.
I mean, that's exactly why I'm offering it. But anyway, what the fire laser does is it essentially makes any sticky substance able to be caught on fire, which makes it volatile and full of energy. Now, if you know anything about the process of combustion, the more energy something has, the more active its molecules get, which means in the middle of combat, if you suddenly turn this on, which I'll give you the remote control to, it will actually cause Syrup Man to fly into a fit of burning rage, literally, and catch on fire and start attacking things. You might want to be a little bit careful, though. I'll need to develop a control module to where he won't go absolutely batshit crazy every time you turn this on. But, in the name of science, go out there and test this, okay?
Okay, I take it.
Ah, good.
So,
and
what is it called? What is it called again?
It's called the Firenazer. It's spelled Fireanizor. I know it's a mouthful, but still work with me.
Firenazer. Okay.
I know it doesn't look like it's spelled that way, but at the same time, it's just roll with the punches again.
I kept hearing Firenator, and I'm like, was it made by Dr.
It's Phineas and Ferb. I'm sorry. I'm not that kind of doctor. The only thing that you should be concerned about is Syrup Man does produce an unlimited amount of sticky substances from his body, and again, I'm sorry for the way that sounds, but it's very true. The only thing you really need to be worried about is he only has so much on his body at one given point in time, so leaving it on for too long could cause him to accidentally get burned and burn through that layer of syrup that couldn't catch on fire. So just be careful you don't burn him, because that would be rather painful, and that might actually catch other sticky substances on fire, and we don't want to know about that, at least not here. So leave that up to the Rule 34 people of the internet to mess around with. For now, we'll just try and be safe with it. But the other thing that I did come up with was something that do a little bit more, which is going to give you a reason to put on this module. He says, taking the remote control module from your hand and wheeling out a giant exosuit of some kind from around the corner. Now, this is just a prototype. It's just a prototype of something I have planned. Yes, you like the look of it? Please tell me, what are your first impressions?
Well, first describe what the exosuit looks like.
Okay, well, this massive frame that I have...
No, Z, I'm asking you as the DM to tell me what I see.
Well, honestly, I can do it better. I made it.
Okay.
Also, fuck your fourth wall. Anyway, as best I can describe it, this massive, sleek frame, it looks like a bunch of stick figure arms put together, almost, that would connect to various places at your wrist and ankles and around the waist in a large belt-like fashion. But it looks like just large metal beams that go from one limb to the next. So it's very unfleshed out and not very big at the moment, but it is made out of a very special metal. It's made of a haunted metal, one that is not easily destroyed except by haunted means. And as you're probably not going to go up against anything haunted out there, probably more along the lines of aliens than anything else, I would say that you're going to be pretty safe in this. Okay. You hear a small whimper from across the room. Just shut up. Don't say anything.
Oh, wait. Is this exosuit?
Yeah, it may be recycled. He glances around the room nervously.
No.
Alligator Night, we're gonna touch penises.
I thought I said I didn't want you to wear me.
I take out my dick and whack it off on the exosuit.
I honestly did not see that part coming, and now I don't want to see Fred coming.
Very true.
Fred is going to come literally all over.
Santa Claus is coming to town. So,
I didn't want this to happen. I didn't ask for this. How is it that such an inconsequential person like me ends up being dragged into this again? I thought I left.
That's why I put a tracker in your suit.
You put a tracker.
Exactly, and that's why you're now part of the AI control module for this thing. So he presses a button on the side of the frame, turning it off, and Alligator Knight is no longer heard. So Fred, of course, sees this shiny exosuit right in front of him, and the doctor is busy forcing the firinator into the middle of Syrup Man's forehead, as best he can with what appears to be a crowbar, since he doesn't really want to get close to the stickiness. But both the crowbar and the module are absorbed by the stickiness. So Syrup Man just ends up having a crowbar stuck in the middle of his head.
Also, Doctor, one more thing.
Yes.
Can you give Syrup Man special pants so that way I don't have to look at his ding-a-ling all day long? Because even though I am pansexual, I'd rather not see that on a day-to-day basis. Especially if I'm sleeping or taking a shower.
Okay. I think I can come up with something for that. Hang on. He suddenly produces a vial from his pocket and injects it into a nearby syringe. Of course, he just keeps dirty needles lying around, as all good scientists do. Yes. And jams it through the middle of Syrup Man's syrup shell, I guess you could say. What you read on the side of the bottle as he puts it on the table is injectable tights. So for some reason, Syrup Man now starts to grow tights over his dingling. So now he's covered up to the neck in tights. Congratulations, I don't know what this is. This started out horribly. So now Syrup Man's covered in tights, has the ability to catch on fire. Fred has a brand new exosuit made out of Alligator Knight. And Fluffy is just standing there gnawing on the carpet this entire time, which also happens to be the middle of town, since Fred's a fuckboy and decides to make that a thing. So, what's your next move?
Well, I say, and I turn over to Pancake, Weird Al Pancake Man and Syrup Man and say, well, honestly, I don't really see us being too productive trying to just find one clue after another, like 1P, A, like all the letters, without a way to be sure to find them. So I think what we should do right now is try to find Young Yankovic's, Weird Al's grandfather. We should find his journal. And I think his journal might be buried with him.
Okay, that sounds like it makes sense to me. I don't exactly know where Pancake. I don't exactly know where we'd find it, but I don't even know where he's buried. Pancake. I'm sorry, I can't control these weird little pancake thing. Pancake. I'm saying it's weird being fused with a pancake. Okay.
All right, so let's go try to find Jan's journal. And Fred pulls out his new fourth wall phone, his Fapple phone, and he's gonna look up everything to know about Jan Yankovic.
Okay. So you pull out your Fapple phone and you manage to roll for information, you could say. You don't find much about Weird Al's great-great-great-grandfather, but what you do manage to find is that he did have a base of operations somewhere in Belgium at one point in time. But it appears that for the most part, everything came from Germany. So it appears that Germany may be the focal point of this little adventure of yours.
Okay.
Your rolls, man.
I don't understand. All right, everybody. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on the exosuit. Fred just announces because I forgot to change voices. So Fred puts on the exosuit and tries it on, and then Fred turns to the doctor and says, "Where are the miniguns?"
And miniguns?
I want
the doctor times.
Yes, I want 2 big miniguns on each wrist because yeah.
Wouldn't they not be miniguns if they're big?
Hang on a moment. He suddenly, somehow, with the old tablecloth and the table and the dishes on top trick, manages to pull the exosuit off of Fred in one swift movement. Take you to the next room, and you hear classic cartoony hammering, banging, and all of a sudden weld flashes flying off of the walls and bouncing around them. So then he brings it back into the room, and it appears that he's broken the fourth wall and gone through into Rambo's dimension, grabbed two big miniguns, and basically just welded them to where the wrists would be on the on the exosuit.
Ew.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Yes. Go kill some things for me. Just for me. And also bring back the corpses. I need more human tests. So, willing human. Just bring me back bodies.
Oh, okay.
Congratulations, there's a dog.
Yes. Samson, shut up! I don't care that you see a lizard. Samson!
No animals were harmed in the making of this film.
Stop!
It's technically a podcast, so...
Sandy!
Yeah, it's recording.
Yeah.
It is a podcast. Alright, I have my dog with me, so that way he won't
keep
bark.
your subdued.
Yes. Oh, yes, you're a good boy. Good boy. Okay. Alright, so, where did we leave off?
He just slapped two miniguns to the wrists of this thing and gave it back to you.
Sweet, I like it. Okay. Alright, that'll do. Thank you, I appreciate it. Now I basically have a max. Now that's an inside joke, guys. I don't expect you to know it. But anyway, by the way, will Fluffy be able to carry us while I'm wearing the exosuit?
You managed to hop onto Fluffy's back just for a little test ride, and then, sure enough, it doesn't seem like it phases Fluffy at all. With all those wings, he's got a good amount of lift.
Okay, so I motioned for Zyrinthian and Pancake, Weirdo Pankovich, to get on the
Why don't we just call it Pancake?
We could, but then that wouldn't be nearly as funny as Duck trying to come up with a new, different version of it every single time he talks about him. So we'll just leave it like it is.
Good point. Very good point.
Yeah. So right now, Weirdo Pankovich is still pretty useless because. Yeah, he's still useless. You know what? That's just going to be the ongoing joke that Fred and Fred and Sarah Man are going to be the only useful ones in the D&D group.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, I can work for that.
And also Fluffy is a teammate too because he can fly.
Yeah. He's kind of like the utility team member.
Yes.
Anyway, so where do you decide to fly off to?
That shot. Why do I keep changing voices for? I'm not even talking in Fred's voice. I need to get the whole talking thing down, but I'm gonna have a lot of editing to do.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot.
Yeah, a shit ton, and I'm gonna be bored about it. Okay, so anyway, I go to that pancake shop in Belgium because I want to try to find his journal because without his journal. We might, here's the thing. What's wrong, Samson? Yes, you're a good boy. But yeah, without his journal, we might not even be able to, determine what the clues mean if we even get the clues.
Yes, very true.
Okay, so...
So as you fly off into the Belgian airspace... which apparently they don't manage to pick up a giant flying sheep on their radars as you fly in. You land, of course, straight in the middle of the small Belgian town, which is a very nice, quaint little place. It seems to be bustling with cars and a little bit busy. But other than that, I mean, there's not much going on. It just seems like an average day until a giant fucking sheep falls from the sky, covered in wings, with an insane-looking deranged man in a hoodie, and a syrup-covered... tights covered thing, and a pancake lands straight in the middle of the town, crushing the fountain as everybody starts running and screaming for their lives.
All right, so Fred gets off Fluffy and puts on his exosuit, just so, just in case. Oh, but just in case.
You put on your knight in shining armor.
Yeah, I put on my knight in shining armor, and I turned Alligator Knight on. By the way, not the sexual way. I just.
Well, I mean, you're.
I turned Alligator Knight on. Yes, you do.
I flipped his switch a bit, and make his haunted artificial intelligence thing come to life. What's wrong, Samson? Why are you whining? Yes,
because he's a dog.
Yes, he's a dog. Good boy.
Why did this have to happen to me? I don't enjoy this.
Because you're a fuck, and that's what happens to fucks. We fuck people in the ass.
I don't have an ass anymore. I'm this thing that you're wearing. Okay.
I always told you that I always told you that I was gonna make you into a fucking fur coat, and now you're going to watch as I ride you around. I'm gonna make you watch. You're gonna watch everything.
Or something. I don't.
You're gonna watch everything.
I think that's enough torturing that guy for now. What are we after again?
We're gonna go after the what is it called? The Jan Yankovic's journal thing, and I start walking over to his thing, assuming I don't know where it is. So I'm just gonna wander off in a random direction until Weird Al Yankovic corrects me. What do you want? I love you too. You're a good dog, yes, but I'm recording right now. What do you want? Hello.
So here we go. So you manage to wander off in a random-ass direction, which happens to be directly toward a cliff face nearby, but that doesn't really concern Fred as he begins walking down the side of the cliff face. So Weird Al Pancake, of course, following shortly afterwards, stuck to Syrup Man's back, is being walked down the cliff face as well, but it appears this exosuit has the ability to walk on walls, so that's something nice that you can add to the mix there.
Oh. Okay.
So this wonderful little bit of information being revealed to you. Fred just keeps walking down the side of the cliff, and let's see what he ends up finding, if anything at all. So you know that generally Fred has a good sense of what's going on, so you assume he's walking in the right direction. But he's not walking in the right direction this time. Instead, he just gets down to the shoreline and stares out at it for a few hours.
What are we doing down here?
I'm not sure because he, for some reason, decided to take control of Fred, and now I'm back to my senses. So let's go. And and Fred goes towards the Belgium shop. Well, no, first. So Weird Al Pankovic, where's the Belgium thing? The thingamajig of which that was planted in the pancake.
Oh, where's the what? Pancake.
Where is the pancake shop?
How? Let me use a special skill of mine. He starts waving his hands around in the air in a semi-mystic but also very confused. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing fashion. After meditating for those 3 hours on the beach, I assume that I have the ability to sense nearby pancake-related things. He sticks his left index finger out in a random direction. That way. He points back down to the beach. Well, shit. Yeah, that way. He points. All of a sudden, as if by magic, this cave opens up down by the shoreline, next to the rock that Duck was standing by, or rather should I say Fred, was standing by. And of course, he once again looks the fool for doubting the powers of Z, for pointing him in the right direction. I did not just take control of Fred for no reason. There was a reason. There was a reason for everything.
I really want chocolate chip pancakes right now.
I want to slap ass.
Okay, so we are back after that little debacle. So what are your plans now, Fred?
I'm gonna walk towards the cave.
Okay.
And see what I can see in the cave.
Okay. So this cave down by the shoreline, other than having some water lap into it, is very dark and deep, and it seems like whoever it was that was building these, apparently it was Jan Yankovic, it appears to like building things underground. So that may say about it. And there's the dog again. This is a wonderful recording.
Samson! No! No!
Anyway.
No.
God damn it. The timing is perfect. So, as we go on a little bit further, Fred walks down to the edge of this cave and takes a look in. However, of course, being Fred in this massive alligator knight exosuit with a pancake and a syrup man right behind him, causes the very lip of the cave to suddenly cave in, sending all three of them down, tumbling downwards in a shower of rocks, saltwater spray, and various other debris into this cavernous land below, which looks like something straight out of some kind of Indiana Jones-looking feature film.
Ooh.
There are torches on the walls, which leaves the question as to who lit them. The yellowish-brown bricks laying the area seem to be very old and crumbly, as it's very hard to tell where one stops and another begins. That's how broken they are.
Ooh.
The entire atmosphere is one of gloom and doom and possibly large spiders that you may want to check your back for.
I turn around.
A giant spider standing there with a clipboard.
Now, if you would, fill out this questionnaire on how was your trip down here. We've been trying to experiment on better ways to get people down into the underground. You know, just before you're eaten and everything.
What do my surroundings look like?
So you managed to see a bunch of fallen bricks and other laden debris and a large torch nearby hanging on the wall.
Yeah.
Other than that, there are a few shovels, pickaxes, and spades, and a bunch of broken bones from what appears to be other people who have fallen down here before you.
Yeah. I take the spider, pin him on the wall, and set him on fire with the torch.
Okay, with a massive feat of strength. Wow, 19. Fred manages to pick up the spider holding the clipboard, which also has what appears to be a press hat on. You're not entirely sure. Oh my god, what are you You hear the death knell of the spider as the torch, which is made of solid wood, I might add, suddenly protrudes from the middle of its abdomen and then begins catching him on fire as he sprays very apparently flammable spider web all over the place, lighting himself on fire even more.
And then to do even more overkill, I rev up my miniguns, both of them, and shoot him.
Okay, the massive spray of effect blasts over the entire area, leaving shards of rocks and other things flying through the air as Fred is yelling at the top of his lungs as he sprays minigun bullets directly into this thing. And you can see that there's very little left of the spider afterwards, other than two legs hanging onto a nearly completely destroyed torso, and there being a bunch of goopy on-fire spider bits on the ground. You turn... Weird Al Pancake and Syrup Man are both just hunkering down on the ground, covering their heads, and most of the debris from this fight is stuck to Pancake Man, or stuck to Syrup Man, of course, my word.
And Fred just says out loud, "Well, Alligator Knight, yeah, you're a good suit. I like you. Good job."
Wouldn't Pancake Man be like if
that's
Syrup Man and
fusion.
Pancake Girl had a baby? Wouldn't that be like their baby?
That would mean that Syrup Man would have to fuck Pancake Girl while he was Weird Al Yankovic, or while she was... You know, that's way too confusing for me right now, so I'm just going to say fuck it, and not in the sexual way. So, moving on from this point in the story. Go ahead. What is your next choice?
Yeah, I'm gonna just, I guess, follow. Like, all right. So, what do I see in front of me? Like, when looking downwards towards the cave.
Looking downwards towards the cave, you can see a small dirt path leading toward what appears to be a giant maze, right in the middle of which you can see something shining. It appears to be similar to what you've seen before, the shine from that the scroll parchment containers have. Weird Al, from Jan Yankovic's notes and clues that he's left behind. So it appears that you may have stumbled upon one of his clues rather than his actual journal, but there may be more than meets the eye to this cave.
Okay, I'm gonna follow. Fred's gonna follow this dirt path, and but I'm gonna do so stealthily. Now, I don't have a proficiency in stealth, but I don't have disadvantage either.
You have disadvantage in stealth when you have this exosuit on. I'll just say that.
Okay.
And guess what?
What?
You just rolled a 1.
Oh.
Your rolls. I'm sorry, man.
All right. Okay, so maybe this will fix my rolls. Fred is going to open up a portal to wherever Mr. Duck is and shoot him in the fucking head with a deagle. Or with whatever the fuck he can pull out of his magic satchel. I don't care if it's.
Now that alternate universe, Mr. Duck is out of the way.
Yes. So like, okay. So I'm gonna pull whatever out of my magic satchel. I don't care what it is. Okay, and I'm going to use it to kill Mr. Duck in whatever way. All right. So therefore, Mr. Duck is no longer controlling Fred. Fred is controlling Fred. Okay.
Okay. Fred controls Fred.
All right. So what do I pull out of my magic satchel?
You pull out a flamethrower that shoots bullets.
Okay, and I
Why not?
Okay, so I do that. Go into Mr. Duck's dimension and literally kill every single person ever created in that dimension with that. So I literally just kill everybody. I take 2 hours to kill every single person ever created in his dimension and go back to my own dimension.
Okay, you come back as a level 8.
Yes!
Somehow, after wiping out an entire dimension's worth of people, including all of their military and everybody else, basically what you did was you just ran around slaughtering people at Mach 5, running around from one power plant to another, setting off nuclear reactions as fast as you possibly could, all the while Alligator Knight was screaming something about, oh, the humanity. And Death was having the time of his life. The Death in that dimension was just loving Fred. But at the very... got this
Hey,
kill.
we actually have a Death who likes Fred.
Yeah!
Fred managed to get somebody to like him for once. Anyway, so as you emerge back through into this dimension, right before a dramatic nuclear explosion forces you back out the wormhole, Fred takes a deep breath, and you realize you just wiped out an entire dimension. Congratulations.
So Fred looks at Syrup Man and Weird Al Pancake and says, "All right, let's try this again." And you know, just to test my roll, okay? I'm going to try to stealth again.
As you begin to stealth your way down the hill, essentially this is the turn of events that just happened. You tripped, fell, and started catapulting yourself down the cliff. In the middle of this horrible stealth routine, you pulled open a fourth wall dimension door, went through into another dimension, went through it, and in the exact same instant, because time doesn't exist when you're crossing dimensions, you came back out of it the same moment you went through, only as a level 8 Fred. And he comes catapulting back out and perfectly stealths back into cover. And all the while, Pancake Girl and Syrup Man are just standing there staring at you like, what the fuck just happened?
I just went to a different dimension. Well, specifically, the guy who created me. I went to his dimension and killed every single person, including the fuck who keeps fucking up my rolls.
Wow. Oh, okay. It sounds like you're worse than Hitler. Okay. So, are you like the new Hitler?
I grab a dildo and shove it up Syrup Man's ass.
The tights deflect the dildo.
All right, and then I just stick it onto Syrup Man.
Now he just has a random dildo sticking out for a tail.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, wait. You wanted him to have tights so you didn't have to thing, and then you stick a dildo to him.
Yes. Because that's how Fred works. That's how Fred works.
And he, once again, back again, for Fred physics, it isn't sin, because it's Fred. Anyway. After that horrible little jingle, and more stealth commences, stealth dildo shoving, I don't know which one happened first. But anyway, now as a level 8, you have the ability to add another tier to Fuck Luck, which means you can also add +1 to whatever you reverse with your Fuck Luck skill.
Sweet.
So, also, I will add other things after the recording. But in the essence of time, you manage to stealthy ray down to this maze. The walls of it are about 50 feet tall on either side, and it's nearly impossible to tell what's going on in this maze. But you can hear rattlings, clickings, and other very nasty, skin-shivering noises coming from inside this maze, just by standing on the outside of it. Everything on the outside of it appears to be this giant black hole that dips down underneath this maze.
Oh, so it's basically like I'm gonna have to shimmy?
There's only one small bridge leading across to the entrance of this giant maze. And everything below it is a deep pit.
Oh, crap. Okay. How sturdy does the bridge look?
The bridge looks about as sturdy as anything this old could be. It looks a little bit rickety, but the bricks on it are massive. And the fact that they're this big and holding up over this amount of time means that they're probably 95% stable, given the way they look.
All right, I'm going to very slowly put 1 foot on the bridge just to make sure, because I really don't want to fall, because I'm pretty sure that this exosuit can't really swim.
Look, spiderweb. That's sticky. Without any further heed or warning, Syrup Man begins walking haphazardly across the bridge directly in front of you and sticks himself to a spider web on the other side, subsequently absorbing it and completely ignoring Fred, who's trying to shimmy across very carefully.
God damn it. Syrup Man, you're a fuck. I don't actually say that, but Fred thinks it.
Yeah, we know you think it. Don't worry.
You probably
As the Syrup Man slowly dissolving a syrup, well, I guess it is a syrup web now, a spider web with his body, and slowly falling back down to the ground in a very unepic fashion.
All right, okay, I go across the bridge.
So now that you've meandered across to the other side of the bridge, you manage to see that the maze takes a sharp right turn and then what appears to be another left turn right after it, simply just to disorient who comes in at first. The walls are covered in very black, moldy-looking substances that are also pulsating in spider webs. This appears to be a nasty place, but it just smells musty overall.
Now, by the way, just a question. So with this exosuit, is my face covered, or like what does it cover?
Basically, it just hooks on in a half helmet. It covers half of the back of your head, but your face is still exposed.
Okay. And what parts of me are armored, and what parts of me aren't?
The fists and feet are completely armored on these things. Obviously, you have 2 giant miniguns strapped to the wrists of these things. It's not very easy to grab things with these exosuit hands, because they are literally just giant miniguns bolted to the top of your wrists. You're glad that Fred is as strong as he is.
All right, so I basically don't have a whole lot of armor, but the exosuit...
No, you just have the frame for now.
Okay, so the exosuit really just adds strength, right?
It really just adds strength and power, yeah.
Strength and power, okay, that makes sense. So, all right, okay. So how much health does it add, or does it add any health?
It doesn't add any health, but it does add about 1.5 times your normal strength.
Okay, all right. That's good. So it makes me stronger, and I have many.
And it also does grant immunity to any sort of falling damage.
Okay, all right. So it's basically like the exosuit in Fallout without any armor on it.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, so I continue down the path.
So as you're walking along, you hear more of this clicking and hissing and nasty noises seemingly coming from all around you, and it only grows louder the further you go into this maze. The other 2 are following you rather rather wary of their surroundings. However, Syrup Man continues to stick himself to and absorb nearby spider webs. Because, of course, he's Syrup Man and he loves sticky things.
I really like how Syrup Man has really developed into your type of character.
Yes.
He's both not giving a shit and very Zyrinthian-like, and yet he has blind rage.
Yes. Anywho. So as you progress deeper into this web, all of a sudden you feel a slight drip on your shoulder.
Oh, fuck. Okay,
It appears to smell very, very bad, and it's not water.
I look up.
There are about 60 spiders directly overhead that have been following you this entire time.
Oh, shit. I rev up my miniguns, and... Well, I rev up one mini... Well, no. I rev up both miniguns and shoot them a lot of times, and I turn on Syrup Man's fighter thing.
Okay, I would recommend you to use Fuck Luck right now, just saying.
Okay, I use Fuck Luck.
Okay, in a massive turn of events, all of a sudden, the secret hidden device within the exosuit activates, and both of these miniguns split into 2 smaller miniguns that increase your rate of fire times 2, and the amount of bullets you can fire times 2. It appears the Doctor knew exactly what he was doing when he made this suit. As you roll a perfect 20 that would have been a 1 had you not had the Fuck Luck +1 skill, as the miniguns fire directly into the roof, annihilating more than half of the spiders all at once. And you hear, "Do it, Doc. Give it to me. Hit the button. Hit the button," from Syrup Man, who's just standing there looking as lazy as ever, but for some reason very pumped all of a sudden. And you remember the remote control switch for the fire resonator.
Alright, so... Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and flip on the switch. How many spiders are left?
About 15.
Oh yeah, I turn on the switch because I want all the help I can get. Because I don't want to waste all my ammunition because I only have 8 actions left before I have to reload my miniguns. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the switch.
So you flip the switch on the side of the exosuit, and you hear Alligator Knight whimpering.
Oh, I hope this works. I hope this works.
Oh, it works. And you hear a sudden bing coming from Syrup Man's direction, and you see his eyes widen to the point you've never seen them widen before, as he suddenly turns into the syrupy Human Torch and flies off towards the ceiling in a rocket-powered fashion, yelling, "Woo!" as the spiders suddenly start to catch on fire, and he plunges through them all head first in a glorious blaze of blue flames. And of course, if you know anything about fire, blue is way hotter than orange. So he's blazing at massive temperatures right now, all the while rocketing around and yelling something about stupid sticky spider bitches as he's punching and kicking his way through air with the grace of a martial arts master that got drunk off 20 shots of vodka. And it appears that his syrup has also become sticky and fiery in the process, which means every single thing that he goes through or touches manages to also catch on fire and get stuck with blue napalm of syrup. Also, this syrup appears to be very tasty as you see a couple of spiders start to try and eat it, but then promptly have their faces melt. And more of them start flying and skittering off the ceiling, and you can see a few of them are still going for your weakest member, which at the moment happens to be Weird Al Pancake, as one of them launches a web at his feet and starts to drag him off.
Alright, God, I really hope this works. I'm going to pull out or at least I'm going to try to pull out a rocket-powered sledgehammer.
Okay, you do indeed manage to find what you were looking for, and this one also has TNT on the head of it. Congratulations.
Thank you, okay.
Hey, he actually had a good pull-out game.
And
of
yes.
course, you killed Mr. Duck.
Yeah, I did. I killed Mr. Duck. No, Fred killed Mr. Duck. I didn't do anything. This is Fred we're talking about. Okay, so how far away is the spider?
They're about 25 feet away at the current distance.
What about the one dragging away?
And Weird Al Pancake is on his face being dragged away.
What about the one dragging Weird Al Pancake away?
That one's approximately 30 feet off, scuttling along the ceiling, almost dragging him like a helicopter would pick up something with a tow cable.
Alright, I'm going to start my way over to him.
So you've been sprinting in that direction as fast as you could possibly go. The spider starts reeling in Weird Al Pancake with the web and his legs at the same time, hoisting Weird Al Pancake into the air as he goes.
Alright.
So the distance is growing quickly.
All right. I'm gonna try to pull out my chain. I'm gonna put away my my sledgehammer. Or wait, can I do a sledgehammer sprint like a chainsaw sprint only with my sledgehammer?
No, it doesn't look like that's going to add anything to it. But you could possibly, at this distance, you could do something like throw it, for example. That might help.
All right. I'm gonna throw it at the spider.
Okay. So you line up a very good shot as best you can, sprinting at that speed, and you do indeed manage to throw it and hit the spider directly in the abdomen, knocking it backwards off of the ceiling, loosening its spidery grip upon Weird Al Pancake as he sticks to the side of the maze wall, about 20 feet up in the air, I might add, while the spider clings to the ceiling by a thread itself on the other side of the maze wall, apparently over the cliff.
All right. Okay, so...
Get me down from here. I don't like being up this high and stuck to things. Help me, please. I'm freaking out. Get me down from here.
You can hear more hissing as more and more spiders start to appear from the caverns below.
This isn't good, and I don't wanna waste ammo. Yeah, I don't want to waste as much ammo. But
you manage to hear another whiz behind you as Syrup Man rockets his way past you and down into the deep, dark depths, and you hear spiders start to scream.
I really like Syrup Man right now. Okay, so I rev up one of my miniguns, and well, first, what do I see in my surroundings?
You can only hear the hissings of the spiders at the moment, and their screams as they're dying. It appears that Syrup Man is trying to fend them off as best he can from rising up from the pit below. All you manage to see is Weird Al Pancake stuck about halfway up the wall directly in front of you, and a large plateau in the maze as it kind of rises up from a bunch of collapsed debris nearby. Other than that, there's not torches on the walls and more collapsed maze wall.
Alright, Where's the spider that was dragging Weird Al Pancake?
It's hanging from a thread on the other side of the maze wall. You can still just barely see the thread from the top, but other than that, you can't see much.
All right, I'm gonna rev up one of my miniguns and shoot it at the spider.
Okay, you can't see the spider from your current trajectory, but you can see the web that it's dangling on the other side of the wall.
All right, so I aim just below it, and kind of spray bullets up and down.
Okay, so you do manage to hit the web, and you see it get weaker and weaker to the point where it can no longer support the spider's weight, and it just snaps. You hear a sharp hiss from the other side of the wall that slowly disappears into what you can only assume is the pit below.
Okay.
So more and more of these spiders start to sound closer and closer, and apparently this maze is nowhere close to being complete. You need to either get in further in the maze or get out of it, because the spiders are having none of it. So what's your plan?
Okay, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to... Okay, I want to pull out a fire extinguisher out of my magic satchel, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to do
Let's see if you manage to do so. You do indeed manage to... You pull out what is known as the anti-fire machine. It appears to be something that the U.S. government developed a long while back to combat fires in national parks. As it appears that it normally would hook onto the bottom of a helicopter, but thanks to the exosuit, you can wield it perfectly well. And it also appears to have such back blasts that you might even be able to use it as a jetpack, with how much force it exerts.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and use it as a jetpack, because I had a different strategy, but this is cool. Rocker, where are you?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
I just haven't had any comments to make lately.
Okay.
Okay, just checking. I was wondering that myself. Thank you.
I'm still alive.
Good. Okay. So what is your plan now, Fred?
I'm going to try to strap it to my... I'm going to try to use some of the webbing around, like anywhere, trying to use the webbing around and strap the jetpack or the anti-fire machine to my back and try to get up to Weird Al Yanka Pancake.
Okay. Weird Al Yanka Pancake. Okay. So using some of the nearby web, you do indeed manage to strap this massive lump of a machine onto your back. It doesn't appear that it's going to hold for very long, given how much force it exerts, but it does manage to blast you up and into the wall that Weird Al Pancake is stuck to. And such force, as a matter of fact, that it manages to blow you both through the wall, sending you towards the pit below. It was an unfortunate turn of events. However, you can see the Human Torch that is Syrup Man continuously burning his way through spiders down the pit below you. It appears that it's not as deep as it would seem, but it's still about 200 feet down.
Alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and grab onto Weird Al Yanka Pancake, kind of like a superhero would, and just prepare for the fall.
Okay. As you begin plummeting to your doom far below, you see Syrup Man suddenly fixate on you as he flies up in your direction. Most of the spiders have already retreated into the walls, and you hear a very syrupy war cry as Syrup Man launches himself in your direction. This may not end well. What do you do?
I'm going to turn off the machine.
Okay. Syrup Man suddenly, while flying up towards you, you see his eyes suddenly go dead again, and he managed to stick to you in midair, as it appears that his trajectory was directly on point. And the resulting force also rips the machine from your back.
Okay.
So now you're thoroughly stuck to Syrup Man and his tights-wearing self, as you're both spiraling through the air, stuck to Weird Al Pancake, and you can see that both of your noses are touching in such a loving fashion through his webbing of syrup that he has on his face. And you can just hear, "Hi," as the wind is whistling in your ears as you fall deeper down into this pit.
And I say, how you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Kiss, 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 kiss.
Oh, no.
Kiss.
Regardless, all of a sudden, the fourth wall opens through a seemingly unknown force, and Spider-Man suddenly comes through, and Spider-Man kisses Fred.
I pull out a Desert Eagle and shoot Spider-Man in the face.
Spider-Man is now dead.
Yes!
As you begin falling further down into this pit. Now, since he had to kiss your face, he kind of had to get stuck to Syrup Man, so now you have Spider-Man's dead corpse stuck to your face. Rather, his lips stuck to your lips, thanks to Syrup Man. As you're falling further down into this pit, and you've nearly reached the bottom. You're within about 100 feet of the pit ending.
I'm gonna go ahead and use my massive strength to take Spider-Man off and put him in my magic satchel for the doctor.
What? Well, he did say he needed something to experiment on. Okay. So as you manage to wrench Spider-Man off of your face with your incredible strength, even Syrup Man is impressed that you managed to get him unsyruped from your face. That sounds wrong. As you manage to put Spider-Man in your magic satchel, you manage to make contact, full body contact with the ground below, landing first on Weird Al Pancake. That doesn't appear to end well, as he's now in a few ripped little pieces all over the place. Ripped little pieces of pancake.
I was holding on to him. Like, I was holding on to him with, and I was planning on landing on my feet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that didn't happen. I rolled for that. That didn't happen. The kiss from Spider-Man threw you so off balance, and you were so overwhelmed by his spideriness and the recoil of the Desert Eagle, I might add, that threw off your trajectory enough for you to land directly on top of Weird Al Pancake. He's struggling to live, but he's still somehow, I guess pancakes don't work the way people do. Even if they're in pieces, they can still be alive. So it appears he will be saved.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and reach into my magic satchel and try to find something that might be able to heal him.
Okay, so let's see. You do indeed find what you're looking for. You find a pancake repair kit.
All right, you need to make these rolls a little bit harder.
You just killed Duck. All of the rolls are going to be easy. I literally... Okay, let me just... A fourth wall break from Z here real quick. Fred, you dumb fuck. You know what you've done? None of the rolls that I have made, other than that one that you made that you used fuck luck on, have been below 10 since you killed Mr. Duck. I'm not even fucking kidding. I don't know how, but you killed the right dimension of Mr. Duck.
Oh, okay. So for now, let's just take advantage off of everything.
Okay. Well, you found a pancake repair kit. Let's see if you managed to patch him up, though. What do you find inside of this pancake repair kit? Just to see if you know how to use these things. What would you repair a pancake with, Fred? What would you repair a pancake with?
Duct tape?
You find duct tape. It's not very effective. You managed to duct tape Weird Al Pancake together. Other than keeping him in one piece, it doesn't appear to do anything for the fact that he's losing consciousness every other second. As you manage to look around at the bottom of this pit, you see a door nearby and what appears to be a solid rock wall. However, it appears to be very old and rusted shut.
Why would he even think duct tape? No.
All right, so first thing I'm going to do, okay?
Yes.
Fred is going to open up the dimension to wherever Mr. Duck was, but he's not. But I'm going to be more specific. The exact time when other Fred decides to come back and kill Mr. Duck. Okay.
Say that again.
Basically, Fred is going. Okay, so basically, Fred is going. All right, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and take away fuck luck to where that's no longer an ability since I'm actually rolling better now.
Okay.
All right, so fuck luck is no longer an ability.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
So you've managed to both fuck duck and fuck luck.
Yay.
You managed to both fuck duck and fuck luck.
Yay. Okay. So what else? Okay, so what else do I find in the pancake repair kit?
You managed to find a stapler. Oh no. You find a stapler and a small bottle of syrup.
I use the syrup on Weird Al Pankovich.
Syrup Man eats it before you can do anything.
God damn it, Syrup Man!
I'm just doing my job.
All right, you know what? Give me some of that. And I literally slurp some of this syrup off of his body and stick it to Weird Al Pankovich.
Say that again?
I take some of Syrup Man's syrup off of his body and put it on Weird Al Pankovich.
Oh,
My
harder
question is where you... I was going to make a comment, but that'd just be what I was going to say, not a lot.
Yeah, Pancake Man, Erotic Pancake Man, Syrup Man. Damn it! Anyway, so as you're suddenly patching up Weird Al Pancake with Syrup Man's goo, which sounds all kinds of wrong, you see the rusted door nearby suddenly start to creak open. And who else do you see clambering out but a bunch of Mark Zuckerbergs?
Why? Are there any are there any computers nearby?
There don't appear to be any computers nearby, but you can look around, and what you manage to see is a large Nazi flag hanging on the wall.
Okay, I take the Nazi flag, and I stab all the Mark Zuckerberg. Well, I stab one of them Mark Zuckerbergs up with it.
Okay, so you managed to take a swing at the nearest Mark Zuckerberg. He manages to dodge it with superhuman, almost reptile alien-like reflexes, and that's a mystery. All the rest of them are standing around sipping water in a very horrid fashion, all the while staring at you. It's like that. It's like a really bad Matrix spoof where all of the agents are Mark Zuckerberg. That's basically what we're seeing right now.
Oh, great. Okay, I pull out a flame. Can I pull out a flamethrower of some sort?
Let's see. You do indeed manage to pull out the mother of all flamethrowers, which is called the Sun Napalm Revolver, that fires basically miniature suns that will stick to people and burn them alive.
Okay, I do that to all the Mark Zuckerbergs.
Okay, so you begin firing this insane gun at the nearby surroundings. Many of them manage to dodge, others do not. And those that do not, you can see that for a brief instant, as they are hit by these blazing fireballs, their reptilian appearance becomes very obvious, as do their uniforms underneath, which appear to be some sort of alien symbol that looks incredibly like the swastika. It appears that Mark Zuckerberg is an alien Nazi. Congratulations for discovering this.
Well, I mean, like, during the press conference thing, or whatever it's called, with the judges and stuff, he did kind of look like a robot. Okay,
so whatever this thing is that you've discovered, you're starting to attack the Mark Zuckerbergs. Also, it now happens to be their turn. One of the Mark Zuckerbergs launches a flying fist directly in your direction with inhuman speed, landing one directly on your chin.
I attempt to dodge.
It grazes you. You take 5 damage.
Okay.
Another one of the Mark Zuckerberg launches an attack in your direction. It appears to be a flying kick aimed directly at the middle of your back. They're coming at you from all directions.
Syrup Man, time to do your thing, and I turn on his machine.
So the machine does indeed turn on, and he begins attacking the Mark Zuckerbergs with flaming, drunken kung fu ferocity, as you saw him deal with the spiders earlier. You're not getting past our watch that easily, you hear one of the Zuckerbergs say, before crashing a shoulder directly into the side of you. You take 7 damage. And again, you can see Syrup Man fighting valiantly in the background, as he's taking out more and more Zuckerbergs by the second. You need to buy him time.
Alright, hold on. Alright, so 188. I have to buy him time. Alright, okay, so I know exactly what to do. I pull out you know those small fireworks, like not the ones that go up into the sky and do that, but you know, like the ones that like the small fireworks, right?
Firecrackers?
Yeah. Not firecrackers, just like you light them and then they kind of go pew, and like this, like, and they're basically fireworks, but they don't go up in the sky.
Okay, they just kind of pop on the ground? Become a discussion of fireworks. Pick something else! Okay.
Basically, I get some sort of firework that is, like, not big, but it is flashing. It's kind of like a flashbang, almost.
Okay. So, let's see what you manage to pull out. You managed to find a firework strapped to a flashbang. That could work. You rolled a 19, by the way.
Why are my rolls so good now?
You killed Duck! You killed the right one, apparently. I don't know what happened.
Are these rolls with disadvantage? Or with advantage?
No, they're not. These are just straight rolls.
Okay.
So I don't know what you've done, but somehow you've changed the course of history and Duck's luck. So fuck Duck's luck. You broke it, Duck.
Okay, so I deploy it as to give a distraction, so Syrup Man can do his thing.
All right, not so fast. You hear from a nearby Zuckerberg as it jumps up into the air and catches the flashbang tied to the firecracker before it can go off and lands on it, muffling the explosion. And not so fast again. You hear another Zuckerberg say, and a flying fist comes out of nowhere and clocks you upside the jaw. You take 12 damage. It appears that Syrup Man is indeed fighting valiantly in the background, but you see one of the Zuckerbergs nearby pick something up off the ground. It's the fire extinguisher machine.
Alright.
There are Zuckerbergs coming from every direction now. They're pouring out of the walls, it seems, and scuttling even faster than the spiders did.
All right, so I'm gonna.
row.
Okay, Hey, Syrup Man, duck!
Mr. Duck. Oh, shit. You see him duck underneath the blast that comes from the Zuckerberg carrying the cannon. He stands up again and attempts to launch a counterattack. It succeeds, but with horrible results, as he manages to get his head stuck in one of the barrels of the anti-flame machine. It begins melting away, but the Zuckerberg attempts to turn it on again, and he does, extinguishing Syrup Man. And you can see some sparks coming from the device that the doctor put inside of him.
Oh boy! All right. So what area is Syrup Man on now? Like, is he on the ground or what?
No, it appears he's taken no actual damage, but he's nearly inert now, as he no longer has the ability to catch on fire, and he's once again formed into this apathetic mess that he normally is.
All right. So since Syrup Man can't, Syrup Man can't take damage from my bullet. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tell Yankovic. Okay, Fred says, Yankovic, get down on the ground, okay? Get down on the ground. Do it.
He flops backwards in a very painful fashion as he seemingly faints and both falls over at the same time, dodging whatever it is you're doing.
And and then Fred just spins around with both of his miniguns and shoots as many bullets as he possibly can, having to probably reload afterwards.
The miniguns completely spent, you start to hear a horrible clicking noise as the miniguns start to weld together on your wrist from the intense heat that they're generating. You've managed to kill about half the Zuckerbergs.
Okay.
Their bodies are piling high enough for the rest of them to use them as walls to jump in at a pit around you with.
Alright, okay, so explain that again?
There are so many bodies piled up around you from you spinning up wildly that there are bodies piled about 6 feet high on either side of you, making a small pit that you're standing in the middle of, made completely of Mark Zuckerberg bodies. Which means that more of them are then able to jump over them like a wall before you can see them and jump in and start to attack you from the inside of that pit.
Can I jump out of the pit before this happens?
You can try to jump out of it now, and you do indeed manage to.
Okay.
So you down on the other side and are met with a flying tackle from another Zuckerberg, putting you right back in, but knocking down one of the walls in the process. You're not going to get away from us. Everything will be ours. The Zuckerberg smashes a fist into your face. You take 30 damage.
Okay.
What's your health at?
146.
Damn. Okay, so it appears that Fred is in the middle of a fierce battle with Mark Zuckerberg. I've had enough of this, you hear another voice say from directly behind you, and you hear an alien ray gun start to rev up. It appears that Syrup Man is completely incapacitated, and Weird Al Pancake is being carried off behind the rusted door that opened up with all the Zuckerbergs. And it appears that Syrup Man, other than having a few Zuckerbergs stuck to him, isn't doing too badly.
Can I move my arms?
You are currently being pinned by one Zuckerberg, but the other one is free. Your right arm is currently free.
Okay, so...
With every moment you hesitate, I get stronger. A Zuckerberg smashes a fist into your face. You take 20 damage.
Damn it. Okay, so...
Just don't reach for the Zuckerbergs.
Alright, so I'm going to open up a portal to wherever Fluffy is and cause him to come down.
Okay.
Isn't Fluffy just on the beach?
Yes.
Yes, all of a sudden, this cuts to a nice, pleasant scene at the edge of the beach, and a portal suddenly opens up beneath Fluffy, plunging him into a hellfest of Mark Zuckerberg's dead spiders, syrup-covered flaming Zuckerbergs, and an alien ray gun, and a pile of dead Zuckerberg bodies, in which Fred is now in the middle of, fighting for his life, and Fluffy just sits on about a quarter of the remaining Zuckerbergs. There are about 70 of them left.
Fluffy, kill them!
He begins eating one of the dead Zuckerbergs in a very haphazard fashion, but doesn't seem too concerned. However, at the moment that most Zuckerbergs start to punch him, he starts to roll over on top of them, killing whatever he was sitting on, and a few more in the process.
Alright, so I'm going to take stock of my surroundings and see what I can grab onto.
Most of the Zuckerbergs have alien ray guns sticking out of their pockets they haven't used up until now. Supposedly, they're trying to save their strength, or at least not wanting to waste ammunition on you. It may be that they're not wanting to kill you, even. However, that one charging up the gun across the room has a massive laser gun sighted in right on you that has barrels that move according to your every movement. It appears this thing is locked onto you.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and take my right hand and punch the other Zuckerberg that's pinning my other arm down, grab him, roll over on my back, and use him as a human shield.
You do indeed manage to do so, grabbing him into a chokehold and holding him there for the rest of the Zuckerbergs to punch. However, many of them are so gathered around you, they begin kicking you through the sides of this human shield that you've now acquired, or alien shield, whatever it is. It appears that there are so many of them you can't defend for much longer. You take 15 damage from all the kicking. With every moment of silence, we grow stronger. Another Zuckerberg manages to kick you directly in the head. You take 5 damage.
Alright, I think I know what I need to do.
Guys, we want to get to like a cliffhanger or something, because I got about...
Yeah, she doesn't have much time
As
left.
I was saying, we may want to get to a cliffhanger, because I got about 12 minutes.
Yep.
At last effort, I pull out a radio, okay? And start blasting this.
Oh no. Free things. Too much information at once.
You hear all the Zuckerbergs say in unison as they all begin to cover their ears.
Okay, and I rev up my minigun and start shooting them as they're doing that. Well, starting with the lizard guy that's revving up his gun.
He's already dropped his gun and started to cover his ears.
All
However,
right.
as you rev up your miniguns, you hear a nasty clicking and rattling noise. And all of a sudden, one of the miniguns explodes on your wrist, dealing you 50 damage.
Shit.
You forgot that they'd welded together, hadn't you?
Yes.
How much health do you have?
56.
Damn.
Okay, so the Crazy Train song was still playing. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I get up, take one of their plasma guns or whatever, and start shooting, and then start shooting them at the lizards.
Okay. Both of your hands, since you were trying to reload one of the miniguns at the time they exploded, both of your hands are very badly damaged by this point in time, and your aim is shit. You managed to clock one upside the head with a shot, but most shots are missing or just grazing them. You're not doing too much. Fluffy's still rolling around on top of them, and Syrup Man is pinning most of them down, and Weird Al Pancake is now nowhere in sight as the rest of the Zuckerbergs appear to have gone off with him.
All right. I can't deal with him right now. I have to deal with these guys. So I pull out my chainsaw.
Okay.
And
your chainsaw is now at the ready.
Okay. Did you roll for that?
Yes. You roll a nat 20 on that.
Okay.
Which means that now this thing is fully charged, and of course, it being a cursed chainsaw, you are ready to do some damage.
I'm going to chop everyone in half. Starting with the ones that Syrup Man pinned down.
Okay. Are you sure you want to do that? I'm sure you want to chop everyone in half? I'm just saying.
Keep in mind what everyone entails.
Okay. I'm going to chop up as many Zuckerbergs as I possibly can. And lizards.
There we go. Because if you said that, I was going to chop Fluffy and Syrup Man in half, so be careful with what you say. Fred's powerful. Anyway, so
and
as you spin around the room, as you spin around the room at about Mach 5, spinning like a human tornado made of Fred, you can hear the cursed chainsaw even yelling, "Fuck you!" in a tiny little voice as it winds its way around the room. "Fuck you!" As Zuckerberg parts start flying everywhere. And you see the giant rusted door slam shut behind you as the very last Zuckerberg head flies through the air, arms and all. And you turn around and see Fluffy munching happily on a few corpses. You manage to push Spider-Man's leg that somehow got pulled halfway out of your magic satchel when you got your chainsaw back into its storage space. And you look over at Pancake Man, who has now a bunch of Zuckerberg corpses stuck to the top of him.
Could you help me out, please? I don't like this.
I help him out, and after I'm done helping him, I just leave Fluffy there. I'll come get him later. He seems to be happy. After that, I ask him. Yeah, after that, I ask Syrup Man if he can slurp down the door.
be able to.
And
As he sticks himself to the door, you hear a large rumbling from deep inside the ground. It appears that something just happened. And you turn around and look, and a massive platform is raising out of the cavern floor behind you. And you hear, "Welcome to my world, the world of the future, in which I shall rule it completely and get rid of these miscreants such as yourself. I hope you have prepared your ass to be blasted." You turn around, and it appears to be a robotic Hitler with a Zuckerberg army behind him. Oh, fuck. And with that is where we leave this cliffhanger for this point in time. So, I hope you guys sure enjoyed this. What did you all think of this session?
it was really good.
The technical difficulty, the massive amount of editing Duck will be doing.
Yes. I personally really liked it, and I think I did a little bit better at being a player this time.
Yes.
It was quite interesting.
I did not plan for this to go half this way, but this
Oh,
is
I
definitely
know.
a longer one. You will need to edit some of this down, but
Yeah, it won't be near as
Oh,
long
yeah.
once you edit.
so
Oh,
this is going to be a lot of editing
Yeah.
and a very long video.
Yeah,
Podcast, whatever you want to call it. I don't give a fuck anymore. So, as always, until video number next, stay classy, you morons.